Lord forgive me for this trap shit. Sergeant Smack making backflip. Telly Hank did with the action. With the vital speaking Spanish. Frank Matthews how I vanish. Poof. Came back like I'm King Tut. Gold BBS is on a beamer. When Fat Cat was 10 queens up. Fall off the profit, not the re-up. Fly like Puerto Rican Jesus. Uptown like I'm Baby May. Just caught a touchdown from the bay.
Well, talk to me, Gunner. Talk to me about this Crime Stopper video that everybody's circulating. They trying to use that against you. What was that about?
I don't know what the fuck that's about. Crime Stopper what? I ain't never stopped a crime. Never.
So that's not even you on that video?
I mean, it's a murder case. No one wants to go down. That's why it's come back to that street word, snitch. No one's want to be labeled as a snitch.
A shooting tragedy miles away is hitting close to home right now.
It happened on the campus of Clark Atlanta University. The young college student who was shot is from the Kansas City area. This is the victim, Jasmine Lynn. The Spelman College student wasn't the target, but apparently walked into the line of fire. What started as a fist fight ended with one college student dead, another innocent bystander hurt, and the beginning of a criminal investigation.
New developments today in the murder of a 19-year-old Spelman student, a day after Jasmine Lynn was hit by a stray bullet at Clark Atlanta University. Pastors are teaming up with police to help.
CBS Atlanta's John Cater is live outside the school with the latest developments. John.
And good afternoon to you. There remains an uneasy mood in both the university and greater Atlanta community so long as there has not been an arrest made in the murder of Jasmine Lynn. In the meantime, local pastors are coming together today. They're making an effort. Senseless crimes like the murder happening on Clark Atlanta University's campus. The community shocked by Thursday's murder of 19-year-old Jasmine Lynn, a Spelman College sophomore. One day later, clergymen stand in solidarity with local law enforcement agencies. They're sending out a collective call to stop the violence.
But we've witnessed a series of innocent lives being senselessly taken. There is a crisis of violence in our community.
The murder of the Kansas City native is what jump-started the dialogue in the wake of an intense investigation. While detectives work tirelessly to find Jasmine Lynn's killer, officers close to the case say no one has come forward with information leading to an arrest.
People out there in the community know the individual that did the shooting. And we're just hoping that someone will call us and give us information so we can hurry up and close this case.
Police have questioned several persons of interest, yet they are still seeking to know who among the group of feuding men fired the gun that forever altered the course of life for an innocent bystander, caught and killed in the crossfire.
If you see something, then you ought to report it. To see something and not to report it is to be complicit in the crime itself.
And as this ongoing effort just gets started, pastors want to say that they are offering their condolences to the family of Jasmine Lynn. They will be reaching out to them during this most tough time as they mourn the loss of their loved one. We are live just off the campus of Clark Atlanta University. John Cater, CBS Atlanta News.
If you have any information about Jasmine Lynn's murder, you can call Crime Stoppers anonymously. The number is 404-577-TIPS. You may be eligible for a reward.
I mean, it's a murder case. No one wants to go down for it. No one.
Devonni Benton's younger cousin, Sergio Kitchens, says Benton is on trial for murder simply because his friends turned on him.
Just go to see, like, you ain't got no real friends out here. You know what I'm saying? I learned from that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not happy that it happened, but you know what I'm saying? I'm kind of good to see that, be on the outside looking in.
Kitchens is now a member of the neighborhood rap group SPC, known as Shady Park Click, like his cousin once was.
That's why it's come back to that street word, snitch. No one's want to be labeled as a snitch. I don't want to tell on him because somebody might try to come kill me or someone in my family.
Kitchen says Benton first lied to police because he didn't want to rat out another member, Clarence Carter.
everybody, like, know, like, the streets know, so everybody looking at it like it was wrong because this man would let my family member, you know what I'm saying, go down for something he did.
So I'm just going to give y'all the facts and let y'all come to a conclusion about the situation, because I already got an idea. Yo, Shay's Pop. Salute the almighty MOBB. We in Atlanta on MOBB business. Y'all meet us on Spelman's campus. Now, in an effort to cover stories referred to us by the subscribers, that brings us to the murder case of Devonni Manuel Benton. Now, unless you're from or was in the city of Atlanta a little bit over a decade ago, that name might not sound familiar to you. And the only thing that would bring a familiarity to that name would be his relationship with a more recently controversial rapper by the name of Sergio Kitchens, that we know as Gunna. Now, more than a decade ago, in about 2010 or so, Gunna would appear on CNN on behalf of his cousin Devonni Benton in an impending murder charge in the death of a 19-year-old college student by the name of Jasmine Lynn. A lot of talk has been made about Gunna's appearance on CNN about that crime, so I'm going to give y'all the facts. Now, the incident would take place on September 3rd, 2009 at the intersection of Mitchell Street and James P. Brawley Drive on the campus of Clark Atlanta University. Now, based on Devonni Benton's appeal paperwork, it states that Jasmine Lynn will be leaving a party for a friend of hers by the name of Tiffany Nixon. The appeal paperwork states that Devonni Benton just happened to be on campus with several friends. Now, at some point during that night, a group of men that included a guy by the name of Keith Reed would exit that same party that Jasmine Lynn had attended for Tiffany Nixon. Now, it was at that point that several people would testify that unfriendly looks had been exchanged between the two groups that contained Devonni Benton and Keith Reed. It would escalate from words being exchanged to what is described as an all-out brawl. Now, it would be during that altercation where a witness would testify that Devonni Benton would display a handgun that he would taken from his book bag, with several witnesses on scene describing Devonni Benton wearing a red hooded shirt with his hairstyle and a reddish-colored mohawk, carrying a distinctive tan and red Gucci book bag. Now, during the course of this rumble, it was said that one of Devonni Benton's friends was beaten really bad, and it was at that time when Jasmine Lynn would attempt to break up the fight. It's alleged that Devonni Benton would run down Mitchell Street during that same time and fire several gunshots into the melee. Jasmine Lynn would be struck in the torso, and another man not involved in the fight would be hit in the forearm. An onlooker would attempt to make what sounds like a citizen's arrest and allegedly try to tackle Devonni Benton, but it said he was able to flee the scene, but he would end up leaving his book bag on the street. Using the book bag, authorities would be able to link it to Benton by his fingerprints on items inside of it. Authorities also mentioned that within 2 days of the shooting, in an effort to change his appearance, Benton would cut his hairstyle from that mohawk to what is described as a low-cut hairstyle, to where the red from the mohawk would no longer show. Now, at his trial, Benton would admit that he was at the scene of the shooting and claimed that he ran down Mitchell Street away from the fight, and it was his friend, a guy by the name of Clarence Carter, who actually ran back up the street and fired the gunshots into the melee, killing Jasmine Lynn and wounding the other man. Devonni Benton will also testify that him and Carter had been dressed alike on the night of the shootings, with the only difference being that Clarence Carter wore a dreadlock hairstyle. He would also admit to lying to investigators, giving a false version of his arrival and departure time from the area, while also telling them that he did not have a mohawk hairstyle on the night of the shooting. Several witnesses would go on to testify that the shots would come from the area of Mitchell Street, the same exact street that Devonni Benton would have ran down, with the most crucial being the testimony of a guy by the name of Brandon Hall, who would be identified as a bystander to the fight. And he would go on to testify and also identify Devonni Benton at trial as the man who killed Jasmine Lynn. Clarence Carter will also testify on his behalf, denying any involvement with the shooting. Devonni Benton will ultimately be convicted of felony murder, aggravated assault, along with possession of firearm and commission of a felony, where the judge would hand him down an elbow along with an extra 25 years. He would unsuccessfully go on to file an appeal of those charges in 2016. Now that y'all heard all the details surrounding the situation, I definitely want to know what y'all think. Was Gunner's original appearance on CNN snitching? Did his cousin snitch at trial when he identified Clarence Carter? And was Devonni Benton supposed to wear that because it was evidence that he left on the scene that would connect anybody to the crime? I definitely need to know what y'all think. Y'all make sure y'all get in the comment box. Y'all run it up. Y'all let me know what stories we need to tell, what we got wrong, what we missed, what gangsters I need to cover. All of that, y'all tap in directly. When y'all mention these stories, especially if y'all sending them on Instagram or on Twitter, y'all send y'all YouTube names so I can start giving y'all credit for this. Y'all make sure y'all follow me on Instagram and on Twitter, POP_A_LOT. Till the next time, y'all know the verdict. Salute the almighty mob.